In this report, the meaning of diversity in the perspective of the team members in this study is that they are able to mingle with other people nicely without having to hide anything. And in this report, to answer the question on how the diversity is applied in the workplace is that where diversity among employees allow the sharing of thoughts, which provides better problem solving and increased productivity. Diversity also provides different set of skills in the organization, which allow better innovation. The diversity among the leaders or staffs will create new opportunities in terms of business partnership. Besides, the performance that engage in diversified management as a team have higher revenue on innovations. Other than that, this report describes an experience of the team member work with someone culturally, racially, or ethnically different from them. Any challenges created and how they handle it. Several challenges that is being listed in this report are the challenges of understanding the diversity management by the employees, the challenges in understanding the different cultures, the sensitive issue about food provided by the organization, challenges on maintaining the organization culture, and turnover.
Diversity management can be defined as an organizational action that aims to promote greater inclusion of employees from different backgrounds into an organization structure, depending on a company's goals and the industry through specific policies and programs. Diversity is used to determine the process and understanding values and characteristics of different people. The term involves different descriptions such as respecting, understanding, appreciating, sharing ideas, finding different solutions based on the characteristics and reflections of individual. Furthermore, diversity also establishes the primary dimensions of ages, ethnicity, gender, race, sexual orientation, and physical abilities, and the secondary dimensions of educational background, geographic locations, income beliefs, marital status, and work experience. Besides, managing diversity will involve the environment presence that allows all employees to contribute to organizational goal and to experience personal growth. The organizations must develop a workforce which is comfortable working with people from a wide variety of ethnic, cultures, and religious backgrounds. It may require changing the organizational culture, which includes organization standards and norms about how employees are treated, competitiveness, innovations, and risk-taking. Thomas 2000 stated three kinds of initiatives which by valuing the differences that stimulate better relationships between employees and encouraging the acceptance and understanding of diversity. Likewise, meeting affirmative actions policies by social pressures making diversity management a structured process to obtain competitive advantages through a diverse group of employees. Thus, the organization has to change its central cultural values and concentrate its efforts on effective diversity management practice.
As students that live in Sabah that known for its diversity, we have been exposed to the uniqueness, strengths, and weaknesses of every races, ethnicity, religion, and other attributes. Due to this exposure, we get to communicate with other people well without discriminating any side. Not forget to mention, we also learn to respect and accept one another without offending them. As a result, Sabah can live harmoniously without having to face with racism, discrimination, and so forth. By emphasizing only on diversity in workplace, we as admin students have been exposed with knowledge regarding to the importance and plethora of benefits, both from internal and external perspectives, of having a diversity workforce. Due to that, we are more aware with the need to have diversification in workplace, especially when diversity has become more than a reality. By taking a close look into the broad definition of diversity, it simply means employing people who are not shared the same background, in fact, have different attributes from one another, such as different religion, ethnicity, races, ability, and so forth. For us, diversity means we get to mingle with other people well, without having to hide anything of who we are. I personally think when someone be themselves, they're able to perform well because he or she lives in reality instead of living the expectation of others. However, if diversity doesn't be handled wisely, negative consequences may occur. These can be seen in the event of 13 May 1969 that occurred in Peninsula, where the Malay and Chinese people had fought with one another due to not showing the same page about politics.
So, how diversity can be applied in the workplace? Diversity can be applied in the workplace by contribution from different ways of thinking from employees who are not sharing the same background. This will bring benefits that can be enjoyed, such as better problem solving and increased productivity. According to the study in Harvard Business School, multicultural networks have a common behavior in terms of engaging creativity and solutions. Next, by having a diversified of individuals as leaders or staffs in line with the same organization's mission, vision, and goals will create new opportunities in terms of business partnership. This is due to the fact that diverse individuals in the workplace have chances to be more approachable to other businesses and hence create partnerships. This can be proven in the study made on companies where diverse executive boards have gained much more earnings compared to companies that exclude diversity in the workplace. Apart from that, diversity can also be applied through innovation. All well-known cities such as New York, Singapore, Dubai, and many others are among of the most innovative cities in which they are one thing in common being shared, which is all are international melting points where the number of immigrants is high. The key to be successful in the modern era we live in today is adapt with the environment and to be more innovative in creating something new.
Okay, the next question is how we work with someone culturally, racially, or ethnically different with us and any challenges that we face and how we handle it. The existence of diversity in the management, it could give an impact for the employees and organization as a whole. The changes that exist in the organization must be adapted by all people in the organization at any department and level of management. The first challenges we face is to understanding diversity management well. Diversity is much more than just a multicultural issue. Diversity is about embracing many different types of people who stand for different things and represent different cultures, generation, ideas, and thinking. Race is just one of the example, but by having the variety background, nationalities and differing physical abilities are more diversity options where it could give a lot of variety and options for the top management to manage the organizations more efficiently. Next, the challenges that employees must face by implement the diversity is they must understanding the other's culture. Understanding the other's culture will create harmonious in the workplace. This is because every person in the organization will always aware the sensitivity issue that will create chaos or dissatisfaction from the others. For instance, in Malaysia, there are three big races, which is Malay, Chinese, and Indian. Every race has their own sensitivity issue that we need to aware and avoid it from we might hurts their feeling. For example, Malay 5 times pray per day. The Chinese and Indian must understand that Malay, mostly the Muslims, need to perform prayers during their work time. Then, the organization that provide foods for their employees also need to aware the sensitivity issue about meals. Some company provide the meals or cafeteria for their employees. This is benefits or convenience for some company. For example, the sensitivity of halal foods. As we know, the Muslims is prohibited to eat pork and beer. The cafe or canteen also must get the halal certificate to convince the Malays that their food is halal guaranteed. Next, the challenges that usually happen is when the organization want to maintain their organization culture. Even there is diversity in the workplace, but it is necessary for the organization as a whole to maintain and keep organization culture alive. The organization must be able to live in diversity. Farsad Singh 2018. By maintaining the organization culture, it will create a happiness among the employees, because if the organization change the culture, it will create unsatisfaction among the employees, especially at the senior management. Lastly, the challenges that may appear is turnover. Not all the employees will accept the changes happen, and they may leave the job for the better job that suits their needs. Thus, the top management need to focus on retention. To achieve a truly diverse in workplace, organization personnel must create work environment where differences are discussed. Nkosi 1997. This should happen oftenly to make sure all employees are satisfied with the changes happen.
In a nutshell, diversity management defined as an organizational action which is aiming to promote greater inclusion of employees from different backgrounds into an organization structure. Nowadays, diversity is getting more important, where if the diversity in the organization were not managed properly, it may lead to challenges not only to the employees, but the organization as a whole. Therefore, it is important for the organization to stick and adapt with it, which has greater impact towards the organizations.